just like politics, all news is local, and that's certainly the case on Idaho Matters, the weekday public affairs podcast from Boise State Public Radio. Listen today to hear about events and issues that impact Idahoans. Search Idaho Matters wherever you get your podcasts.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. We will tell you about how today the state will once again try to eradicate quagga mussels. The city of Ketchum has an e-bike problem. We've got a wildfire update. There's a blistering rebuke of Idaho State Senator Dan Foreman. It is Tuesday, the 8th of October, and here are today's stories. The Nez Perce tribe has issued a statement regarding last week's event in Kendrick, Idaho, where Idaho GOP State Senator Dan Foreman reportedly erupted and used some ugly language, telling a Native American candidate to, quote, go back where you came from. That before Foreman stormed out of the candidate event. In an official statement released late yesterday, the Nez Perce tribe wrote they were extremely disheartened over the event and, quoting here, given our history and presence in the region, it is difficult to interpret the recent incident as anything other than an attempt to racially divide people. Also on Monday, the national organization, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights organization, demanded an apology from Foreman. In its statement, CARE called Foreman's outburst racist, adding that he needs to educate himself about the Native American experience. Late last week on its official social media site on X, the Idaho GOP issued its support of Foreman and insisted that the event did not happen, as has been reported. Today, state officials will again treat a several-mile stretch of the Snake River near Twin Falls, that as it tries once more to eradicate invasive quagga mussels. James Dawson reports.
The Idaho State Department of Agriculture will release the same copper-based chemical it used last year, which officials say helped reduce the mussel population. ISDA will close the Snake River from Hanson Bridge to Yinkst Grade for recreators to avoid contact with the chemical during the 10-day treatment beginning October 8th. A second treatment is planned for November, which will target still water and deeper pools in the river. Quagga mussel infestations can damage habitat for native species by competing for food, deoxygenating the water, and increasing water acidity. It can also cost hundreds of millions of dollars in infrastructure damage, according to state officials, if colonies establish themselves onto water pipes. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
On the fire watch, first, the Valley Fire stretching from Ada into Boise County, and which has required the Boise Fire Department to work alongside BLM firefighters. We're listening to some audio from the Boise Fire Department on the front lines. 248 firefighters in all are on the scene. The latest on the Valley Fire, it has now burned nearly 9,900 acres and is 50% contained. Now, up to the lava fire, and as of this morning, the lava has burned more than 97,000 acres. Ed LeBlanc is the operations section chief on the scene.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've delivered over 350,000 gallons of water with our helicopters. I want to say thanks to all our pilots. Reminder, when those bucket drops, when they drop water on the ground, the key is to get the crews in there and churn that dirt up and get that heat churned up and get that secured and mopped up.
The lava and other fires have threatened Valley County this scene, and it was a main topic of discussion at the Valley County building in Cascade yesterday. During a workshop to discuss mobile risk assessment, Valley County Commissioner Sherry Maupin expressed her concern about firefighting priorities, particularly greater emphasis on wildfire mitigation.
We can also have conversations with the Forest Service. They have to work with the county in our mitigation efforts. Let's get this done. We're going to burn up people pretty soon. And they're doing that in other states. People are losing lives. We're putting all this money to take care of it on the backside, which in my opinion is absolutely flipped. How much work could we have done for the amount of money that it just cost us to fight this fire this summer?
Like many communities, the city of Ketchum has an e-bike challenge. According to Ketchum police, the most common violations in their community are excessive speed and riding on the wrong side of the road. Last evening, the Ketchum City Council weighed in on the matter.
I personally think there is a big problem on the bike path. I walk the bike path every day with my dog, and it's scary to walk on the bike path. I avoid it during busy hours because people go by you at 30 miles an hour and they don't slow down, and often they have 2 kids on the back. That may feel safe to them, but it doesn't feel safe to someone who's walking.
The problem is reckless behavior that's dangerous to the people on the bike or to others. And it's mainly on the streets. That's what we're hearing from, on the streets, the bike path, sure, there's issues there, but it's mainly on city streets.
By next spring, summer, we should be able to put something that we can enforce in place. It's just the first step in the process.
There were Ketchum City Council members Courtney Hamilton, Amanda Bean, and Tripp Hutchinson, so their next step is to craft an ordinance with safety as the foundation. Council members said they'd be looking at the City of Boise's e-bike ordinance as a possible model in their practice to create their own ordinance. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We'll see you back here on Wednesday to stay in touch with the news. Between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.
The candidates for November are set.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Between now and Election Day,
we are not going back.
A campaign season unfolding faster.
Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion
Than any in recent history.
Make America great again.
Follow it all with new episodes every weekday on the NPR Politics Podcast.